Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between the Light and herO here on Circuit Breakers. Bottom left-hand corner, it is the red Terran player Light, playing under his well-known Smurf name, Starmaster. And in the bottom left-hand corner, way over here on Circuit Breakers, it is the brown Zerg player herO. Going to be an excellent ZVT here for you today on Circuit Breakers. A map that people do consider to be Terran favored. We'll see how herO can handle this, though. We've seen him beat Terrans on this map. We've seen it done fairly recently on the channel. Actually, you know what? That might have been something I posted out on patreon.com/FalconPaladin before it showed up on the YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, maybe go over to Falcon Paladin's channel or page over at patreon.com. Go ahead and hit me up for $1 a month, just a very small subscription there, and you can get access to those early posted casts as well. All right, what are we doing? Anybody proxying? Heck no, definitely not. This is a 4-player map. Proxying is hard to do on a 4-player map, which a lot of these maps are. Look at this dead zone for clicking. Let's see. Click off. Click on. Nope. Wait, yes. Here. It's like right here I can't click, and I don't know why. I can't select, and then I move up a little bit, and ta-da! Can click. Mysteries of the universe. Anyway, hit that like button if you're excited to see these two players going at it. I mean, it's really fun to cast the foreigners, right? It's really fun to see players like White-Ra and Idra and Rat going at it and stuff, but man, these players here, herO and Light, really get my juices flowing. That is a 12 hatcherino. 12 hatcherino out of herO. With a regular old barracks opening here at about 13 supply, 14 supply there from Light. And nothing too crazy going on. I have adjusted the music settings a little bit. I did bump them up for my regular casts, which it sounds a little loud to me, but I don't know that it's overpowering. It's kind of hard for me to tell how the end result will come up. So if you guys like it, let me know in the comments. If you don't, then also let me know in the comments, and I'll do some adjusting. Of course, the problem is I cast these a month or a week before they post anyway. So you might have a hard time getting my attention soon enough to make it a difference for the next cast. If you know what I'm saying. Anyway, did he... Dude. Okay. There's your pool. Yep. So pool coming up. No big deal. No crazy 3-hatch before pool shenanigans, which would be hilarious, but dang hard to pull off. SCV coming in for the scout and saying, hey there, hi there, ho there. I see the timing on that hatchery. That was a hatch first play. I really don't have to worry about building a bunker necessarily. Your pool's not even done yet. Okay, it's done now, but slow lings are going to be produced. Let me stick around and see how many lings you're going to make. The answer is 0 right now. He is really droning up. And I can't say that I blame him. I kind of like Zerg chances better when they're just droning rather than they're trying to kill the Terran player early with lings. That said, you're going to have to make some Zerglings because these Marines are interested in moving across the map and killing you. At least on some level, killing some of your drones, right? So he's making 4 lings, which is not really enough to be aggressive whatsoever, but definitely enough to repel these Marines if they decide to come across the map and get something done or start something, which they're not, actually. So a bit of a feint there, I'd say, from Light, forcing the lings out. They're going to chase this SCV regardless. They don't want the SCV running around inside the base scouting everything that he's doing. That said, it's probably going to be a 2-base Mutalisk opening based on that lair timing. Could be Lurkers, could be Hydras, though. We're going to keep an eye on that production tab, and we'll get there together, ladies and gentlemen. Barracks, command center coming in. Going to be a 2-base to a 2-base here very soon. And where is your 3rd hatch? Brown's a little bit hard to see on this map. I'll try to do my best to really focus on that mini-map here today. I've even moved my monitor, so it's a little bit closer to my vision. And that should help. That is an ongoing project, is to not miss big things on the mini-map because I'm busy watching something else. A good example of that, actually, that I don't mind sharing, I suppose, was the game between Zerg, Cal, and Mana. That was on my channel about a week ago, actually. Really great game. If you like ZVP at all, you should watch that one. Dude, it has some of the best use of Zerg drops I have ever seen from the player Zerg Cal. Anyway, the point is, there was a moment there where there were High Templar with energy kind of standing there watching Zerg units destroy a Protoss base without casting Storm. And I was like, what is This is hilarious. And the reason it wasn't happening is because there was a battle like up here on the northern section of the map that I missed most of. I got there eventually, but I missed most of it, and people rightly called me out for it. And I'm going to try to do better. That's the story. So there's your spire. Ta-da! There's your double gas. There are your sunkens in case a big marine medic push shows up here before the mutalisks arrive, etc., etc. These openings, we've seen them. Are we familiar with them? Yes, we are, and that's okay. I like StarCraft very much, even if sometimes you can recognize the builds and things are cool. Just means it's familiar. So we're going to just throw our sunkens up, which, I mean, there's no medics here, but he doesn't have the lings to handle this, so sunkens it is. And that's just, I mean, again, it looks like just another feint out of light. He wasn't really going to commit there, but he wanted to force herO into making these sunkens, using the resources and committing the drones to it. Maybe earlier than he wanted to, keeping that drone count low. I like the plays. I really do. One of the most annoying things that happens to me in StarCraft is when I get feinted like that. Because as a Zerg player, you really don't want to make defenses or units until you need them. You'd rather just be making drones. So, I've had Protoss players especially be like, I'm moving out, and I'm like, make stuff, and then they're like, just kidding, and then I'm dead economically. It sucks. In fairness, I probably overcommit to the defense that never is needed. It is horrible. Anyway, 9 mutalisks in production is a good number of mutalisks if you happen to be somebody whose name is herO. These Zerglings trying to make sure nothing comes out of this front door without herO knowing about it. Turrets in production as the mutas are in production. Very nicely done, Mr. Light. And the mutalisks are on the way. We got our lings. We got our mutalisks. We're making 4 more mutas. This is a big commitment to mutas, you guys. This is a good number of mutas. This is not traditional like 5 or 6 mutalisks you kind of dance around with and try to get stuff done. No, this is a commitment. We'll keep an eye on their health bars here. Ow. Well, one of them almost straight up died there. That was very close, Mr. Purple Muta. More mutas joining our party, though. It's a muta party with 11 mutalisks. And there's an overlord in that control group. You can't see because this is my control group and this is not herO's control group. So I'm going to stack them up. Stack them up. There you go. Go after some of these SCVs. Expanding behind it, meanwhile. And does get a missile turret and hasn't lost a muta yet, but there it is. Loses a mutalisk, kills a couple SCVs, kills a turret. I don't know if that's worth it, man. I kind of feel like you have to go back in there. So he's going to replace his dead mutalisk buddy with an alive mutalisk buddy. And come in here again. But there's Marines, man. And the Marines hit real hard against air targets, especially. They're some of the best anti-air in the game, if not the best anti-air in the game, is the humble Marine that costs 50 minerals. Yeah, this is not looking great for herO. I've seen him open games better, that's for sure. But at the very least, it's keeping the Terran player at home, allowing his natural base to get up, and letting him research lurker aspect while all these shenanigans are happening. So, can't really fault him too much. It's a standard opening for a reason. Even if you can't kill the Terran player with it, it still, again, keeps him at home. Allows you to do stuff like this. Keeps them from expanding. And you have map control for a little bit. It's not bad. It's really not bad at all. Are we going for a hive? Wow, that's an 8.5 minute hive, ladies and gentlemen. Mutalisks in here again. And just... yeah, these Marines have +1. I assume they've got stim. Are we getting medics? Couple medics. And we're going science vessels. Again, this is a viable strategy. I see comments on the channel from time to time where people are like, this stupid Terran player didn't go for mech at all. It's like, no, but this is viable. We've seen Flash beat elite Zerg players with this strategy of Marines and medics and science vessels. You just irradiate all the things. You handle everything else with really great upgrades on your Marines and your medics and incredible splits. You're very mobile. You hit really hard. And really the only thing you can't manage is getting plagued and just run into by a bunch of Ultralisks while you try to stand your ground. But otherwise, you're pretty deadly against things like, I don't know, Mutalisks, for example. Defile around on the way from herO. Speaking of plague, man, somebody posted that classic clip. Nice lurker snipes. That was beautiful from Light. Jeez, these mutas. Just Still alive for the most part. Some of them are fairly injured, but again, I don't know they paid for themselves economically, but in other ways, they've done pretty well. But yeah, that classic clip of, I don't even know what game it is, but somebody tosses down a plague on like 6 science vessels, and the Korean announcers go nuts. They're blowing out their microphones. Plague! Ooh! Like, I can't even do it. I cannot reach the levels of hype they got for a plague landing on some science vessels. That's how hyped those guys are. Maybe I should aspire to that level of hype, but like, it's not even then. Oh, yes, and then the Zerg player brought in a Mutalisk and killed all of the science vessels. It was awesome. No, just the science vessels got plagued. And then they pulled back to the rest of the Terran army and were like, oh, this sucks. We're plagued. But they were just out of their minds. So, I don't know, maybe I should do that. Anyway, Light pushing in with tanks and Marines. This is a pretty intense push. Where the heck is your army? Army's up here for herO, so that's exciting, I guess. Tanks firing in, waiting for Consume to finish. Maybe. Does herO have time to wait for Consume to finish? What this is doing is gonna try to bring the lurkers up and burrow them in. If he could kill the science vessel, it'd really help the lurkers be more effective. Sunken's doing their job and buying time for the rest of the Zerg army. And here it is. We're jumping in. There's lurkers stabbing away. Tanks getting focused down. The Marines have to get out of there. Yeah, lurker spines are a problem, and that was crushed by herO. Yeah. Goodbye, all of Light's army. He got some Sunkens there. He killed a ton of Zerg units. Yes. He's got another army ready to go, but he really would have liked to kill that hive. That would have been great. Now, the problem is that all future battles here played against herO today are going to be dealing with Plague and Dark Swarm and garbage like that. Nice irradiate split. There's the split. 4 kills on that herO Mutalisk. We salute you, herO Mutalisk. Plague is being researched. Still no third base out of Light. Very surprised by this. I'm looking at it. Not quite understanding what's going on here, but it's cool. Everything is fine. Yeah, the Defilers, they've got their Consume. They're happy. That's all they pretty much need is 2 Lurkers and Consume. And they can hold off a pretty much infinite number of Marines. The problem is the Science Vessels, who will irradiate the Lurkers into oblivion. So, hence the game of paper, rock, scissors that exists in our world today. He's not transitioning into mech now, is he? No, he's still making Marines. We've got a good number of Vultures. He's still making fire bats and stuff. Maybe he's thinking about transitioning into mech, but he's really worried about it because the muta count is too high. Maybe once he kills the mutas. Like this. Hey there, third base. How's it going? Bat. I have 4 Marines. No, shouldn't be enough. Is it actually enough? That's only like 3 mutas anyway. Never mind. The muta count is not as big as I thought it was. The stacking is tricky. Anyway, Light's going to land a command center at the 3 o'clock position. And take this mineral-only expansion for, I guess, his 4th, is what we'll call it from now on. So Plague's done, which is so good against Bio and against Science Vessels. Trying to set up the Scourge in a position where they can take down some of these Science Vessels, if at all possible. The scan on the Defiler, the full energy Defiler, throws down a Dark Swarm. You could maybe consume a Lurker here and toss something else down. No? Alright, that's cool. Mutalisks going after these Vultures. This does... Oh, yeah. Additional factories in production. Light's making the dreaded transition into mech here. Oh, the mutas are all gone. Alright, well, the mutas are all gone. Then sure, tanks and Vultures are suddenly a lot better. Surprise, surprise. Defiler energy being researched, that metasynaptic node. But yeah, look at this factory placement. He's sending the barracks out just to scout. Going to use them for visual purposes because the muta count is gone, and you don't make Hydras versus mech. You make things like Lings and Ultras and Lurkers, and none of those things can shoot up. So this is working out pretty well for Light, I gotta say. He's up 146 to 102 total supply at 14 minutes, which his macro is through the roof right now. Through the roof impressive. I don't know what Waklata means. Waklatala? Waklatla. That is hard to say. I like the fire bats defending this 3 o'clock, though, because really it's going to be Lings you're worried about coming in here and wrecking stuff, and fire bats with medics are pretty good in that situation. So map control has ceded directly over to Light here. He owns it, man. He owns the middle of the map. He owns this kind of bottom section of the map fairly well. He's got spider mines laid down everywhere. It's going to be super annoying. Zerglings, you're trying to get several spider mine kills with each Zergling. That was pretty good. 4. 4 for one Zergling is not bad. So it is 4 base to 4 base, but again, this is a minerals only base setup here for herO, but he doesn't need a whole lot, I guess, because he's still making vultures. Those are his mineral dump. Yeah, I don't know about this. This is not feeling good, Zerg players. Ultralisk Cavern on the way, as expected. Oh, we're getting drops. Oh. Oh. Right when I was talking about some of the best Zerg drops I've ever seen, we get drops here from herO. It's a good way to deal with mech. If you drop on places where the mech army is not, it's really hard for them to just get on back home. Oh, nicely done. Lurker shows up, gets under the Dark Swarm. Everybody has to retreat. Look at this. He's not even really hiding this drop. He's like, doop, doop, doo, doo. What's up, vultures? How's it going? There's a missile turret waiting for you, though. Maybe be careful with that. That's pretty good, man. Lurker, Dark Swarm, Lurker. Oh, nice. Plague, too. It wasn't even really all that necessary against those Marines, but hey, we'll take a good Plague. If we can get it, won't we? Nice Plague again. And having to use Irradiates on these Lurkers defensively rather than using them on pushes across the map is pretty good for light. But the Irradiates are coming fast and heavy, and I'm not sure we've actually seen a Science Vessel die today. You think we've seen one die? I don't remember hearing the death sound, and I'm pretty attuned to those. This base is, once again, safe as the Lurkers get irradiated to death, which is probably a pretty painful death, if you ask me. I keep thinking this is army staging up, but they're, man, spider mines. The one thing I would like to see changed in StarCraft, which will never happen, is just on the minimap, spider mines are dots half as big as regular units. So I can tell, oh, it's a bunch of little tiny dots. They're spider mines, rather than there's a giant Marine army sitting right here, you know? So annoying. Because, like, buildings are bigger dots. We can handle this. It's probably in the code somewhere. Spider mine on minimap, then dot equals 0.5 of regular. Done. Look at my coding prowess. Yeah, the tanks are here. And this is where it gets dicey. That said, we're Lurker attacking again down here at this minerals-only base of the lights. They're going to get a comsat station, probably. Maybe some missile turrets. But this is a problem up in the other side at this fourth base of herO, top left-hand corner. Splash damage still registers inside the Dark Swarm. Tanks are a good answer to Dark Swarm. Spider mines too, for that very reason. Lurkers are just bad against buildings as part of the problem. I think they might actually end up getting this comsat station. Oh, and he does. Good for him. And maybe a couple less CVs that are coming into work a little bit early. Hey, guys. The quarantine is still in effect. All right, well, holding off the tanks as well as you can. Running individual lings into the tank line is not going to solve your problem here, herO. You'll notice he didn't take this base. It's because it's so hard to hold it. It's because tanks can sit up here on the high ground and just shell the crap out of it. Is he dropping? Oh, he's dropping on top of the tanks with the lings. Not bad. It's basically a zealot drop, except Zerg style. I like that, and the tank count does end up getting wiped out. Very nicely played, herO. Very nicely played, herO. So he does get rid of this contain on some level. He's got his Ultralisks coming on out. They don't have speed yet, you can tell, because they walk, or they run slowly. Look how skinny Ultralisk legs are. You ever notice how skinny Ultralisk legs are? I feel like you could just chainsaw through them real fast with a chainsaw, which is a bit of a morbid thought, but I mean, hey, I don't know, it's StarCraft. What do you want from me? Another base. herO is just taking this right side of the map and really starting to economically pull ahead here of herO. That said, man, it's 180 to 173 supply. It's close. Is that 4 dead Ultras to spider mines? Send your lings out, herO. Don't send your Ultralisks out in spider mine clearing activities. That's dumb. Look, herO, I love you. You're a billion times better than me at StarCraft, but jeez. Look at this one. If this was like 5 Ultralisks, it'd be a much worse time. Alright, well, at least this lane is cleared now. Sort of. Let's go! We got the 6 armor. We have the +2 attack. These vultures sacrificing their own lives so the tanks can shell the crap out of these Ultralisks. And it worked. They got +2 attack. These tanks are not messing around. Remember we said the fire bat set up at the 3 o'clock? Not bad. Oh, the medics were out of position. What, the medics outkicked their coverage. They were away from the home when the fire bats needed the healing, and the Lings are in here at the 3rd base, and they're causing massive damage. All right. Well, some SCVs are going to die here. The rest of them are going to flee for their little SCV lives. Because, you know, they didn't sign up for this. Good lift on that base. Very nicely done. We got Ultras and Lings and Chaos happening down here at the 12 o'clock position, too. Kind of pulling light in every which direction here, but this Mineral's only 4th base is in a lot of trouble. That's a lifted off command center for sure. And a canceled CC that was building next to it. All right, Heroes decided to go on the offensive today. Attacking right into tanks with these Zerglings, with these Ultralisks. We're clearing out Spider Mines up this way toward Heroes' side of the map, and bad things are happening, but Dark Swarm is up. Ultralisks are here killing your stuff. SCVs are forced to fight against the oncoming Ultralisk onslaught. Again, more of what they didn't sign up for. Dude, he's just been sneaky. He's been sneaky with his Ultras and his Lings. He's been running them around areas, not being very closely spotted by light, and using his speed to get to areas where it's really, really hard for light to respond to it in time. This is amazing. He's taking down factories. He's going after add-on machine shops here. Sure, everything's going to be irradiated to death when all is said and done, but if you can kill a couple factories and a bunch of tanks that are on their way out of said factories, it's going to be a good time. If you can deny upgrades, that'd be great. All he can deny is +3 armor for the vehicles here. That Ultralisk goes down. Everything goes down. So good attempt. Lings cruising in to this 3 o'clock. He is using Zerglings and Ultras in ways that are inspiring. Dude, it's 191 to 135 supply. You know, it wasn't that long ago that I was like, man, Zerg's never going to win on this channel. I've seen complaints about it, but look at how good dropping is. You pay 1 upgrade cost. All your overlords are now shuttles and dropships. And look at what you can do with that. Man, this brings me back. There was a guy who used to play StarCraft with us when I was a teenager when this game came out. And one of his favorite strategies he evolved was just showing up at your base with 8 overlords full of just fully upgraded Zerglings and wrecking all your buildings. That was his favorite thing to do, and I cannot blame him for it. He's supply blocked light here as well. This Ultralisk is not going to die from this Irradiate. He has too much HP. This tank trying to clear it out, but I just, production-wise, economically here, this 12 o'clock is being taken. Look at the Scourge. The flight of the Scourge is majestic. They want to kill all these science vessels, and they can. They're just playing defense right now, which I guess is fair. I assume there was some kind of an attack over here that did not go well for Light, and I think, I don't want to call it just because Light has this whole top right-hand base to himself right now, but his main is wiped out. His natural base is being protected, but it only has 2 mineral patches in it. I mean, when I say his main is wiped out, I mean he still has 4 factories here that are still working pretty good. If this is a comeback from Light, this will be one of the better comebacks I've seen on the channel. Just tossing that out there. It's 173 to 121 supply. Here we go. Scourge decided to join the party, going after those science vessels. The Ultralisks aren't getting irradiated now, but running into entrenched tanks. Maybe not your finest moment. This is really good SimCity positioning out of Light. I like it, but I think all the tanks are dead. There's really no saving them at this stage. The damage output by these Ultras is disgusting. They don't even have +3 attack yet. That Defiler dies, and it's actually held. A bunch of tanks died. It's still 50 supply more here for herO, and look at the trains. Look at the Ling trains cruising on down. Doesn't seem like he's really trying to mount any kind of an attack in the top right-hand corner, which is probably a good idea. But if he can take down these production facilities, he'd really slow down Light's ability to do anything. SCV picked off here. Worker count's only 58 for Light. There's actually more than I expected it to be. He's been replacing SCVs as he's been losing them, which I'm very, very always happy to see. SCVs fighting again. Again, not what they signed up for, but what they're ordered to do. And he has to float his factories and his starport up to his new home in the top right-hand corner, but that is it, man. He has a stronghold in the top right-hand corner, and that is all. He's got 2 mining bases. Okay, he's just now kind of saturating this third mineral in the top right, but we're looking at 1, 2. It's a 4 base mining Zerg player versus a 2.5 base mining Terran. Tank count is pretty high. He's been making tanks, as you do. Is herO just the ZVT expert? Is he the guy we can count on to actually hang with elite Terran players that go mech in late game ZVT? Because it seems like not many other players can do it. Which is, again, I don't know that herO wins this game, but we're looking at 180 to 106 supply. I don't even... Is he even bringing Defilers? I really feel like he should. Okay. Wow, all right. We got Ultras on top of the tanks. We got Lings on top of the tanks. These SCVs, their minutes are numbered, if not their seconds are numbered here. Continuing to push on in. Ultras coming from the southern side, too. Jumping right on top of these Vultures, on top of the tanks, inside the minimum attack range required here. Remember that tank count that I was so impressed by about 3 minutes ago? It's gone now. These two, this is it. This is all that's standing between you and devastation, Light. And that is your good game. Light leaves the game. herO is your winner in 26 minutes and 55 seconds. Oh. What a match. What an absolute match that was. That was just such good Zerg play out of herO. For a minute there, he was down in supply. He was down in base count. And then he just started pulling. He did this, snuck around this top side, right? Did some attacking here, kind of pulled Light's attention away, and then snuck down this southern side and wiped out this base. And then was able to get, this was huge. The fact that the medics were not protecting the Firebats and the Lings were on top of them, were not healing at all, because they were some reason, anyway, the AI is dumb sometimes. The Firebats died, and this base went down, and that was lost income. That was huge lost income for Light. And then from there, just kind of snowballed, losing this, and then the drop into the main base was just problematic. And sure, it didn't instantly fall, but Light's trying to simultaneously to rebuild an economy in the top right of the base while he's losing his production facilities in the bottom right, and his ability to be aggressive is just completely over. The macro, the decision-making, the plague, the dark swarm, and you know a Zerg player is confident when he shows up for the final confrontation without any defilers at all, which is exactly what that was. GG herO. 26 minutes and 55 seconds there. herO 220,000 points. Light 187,000. Producing 800 units to the 400 produced by Light. Ended up killing about only 200 of them. Interesting. So a lot of Terran stuff left, it seems like. But at the end of the day, just too much Zerg. Ended up losing. Is that 73 buildings? 73 Terran buildings died. And then gas mined, minerals mined, and total spent just dwarfs what Light was able to do. And that's all over the last 10 minutes of that match. Up until that point, I really feel like they were pretty evenly matched economically. But once those bases started falling and herO started taking additional bases, he didn't have to worry about defending. He ended up outspending the Terran player by 17,000 resources. That's a huge number. That's a huge number for a game this long and this close. My goodness. All right. Well, that's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.